Nikki. Nicholas. Round 16. It's a normal week, isn't it? Normal
Why do
week.
we do this?
Just move
Why
on to
do
the
we do
next.
this?
It's been great. Everyone's getting thousands. No injuries. We're good, right?
Oh yeah, perfect. Yep, move on. Nothing to see here.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching and listening. Hey, mate, I think I beat you by one. Just putting it out
Ah, yeah, sounds about right.
there. Oh, and
What a year.
you didn't even have Wong.
You have Drinky.
I have a
Yeah.
Tedesco. You have
Mm,
a Nawa.
yeah.
Oh yeah, thank God, he says.
Saved my bacon this week.
Oh, oh mate, how do we not get a Oh, we did get to 50. I was like, how in the world do we have
Mm,
38 from Nico with a try at halftime and not get 50? But
I
we
know.
snuck there.
It was like this was the week. This was the week where he's going to get that 60, 70. We
Ugh.
get really excited and then yeah, they just did nothing that second half.
Go on, mate. Have your rant for the week. What do you got for me?
Well, you want to talk about my trades? That's a
Oh,
good
I'd love
place to
to.
start. Love to. So all week I was like locked in. I'm doing one trade this week. It was Hubner to Jerome Hughes, and then that's it. Fine, locked in. Then on Saturday morning, I was thinking and I was looking at it, and I'd looped Hosking in at the edge. It's like 41's not that good. I was still a little bit on tilt, I think, from last week where I had a bit of a disaster. It's like, you know what? This year it's been so bad. I'm gonna have to make some moves. We're gonna have to take some risks. We're gonna have to take some chances. So I did something that I had no intention of doing until we saw Origin, which was I'm going to trade Cleary. Maybe if he loses the goal kicking for a couple of weeks, maybe he's like, yeah, why not? Let's take a chance. So I sold Cleary and I sold Riley Smith and I brought Ellie Katoa and Jaden Campbell.
I didn't even realize the Qatar one, but for Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, good. So
So
no one hit 50. How good.
so basically those two trades, two very valuable trades at a very important part of the season, cost me negative 24 points.
Mhm.
So there we go. There's value for trades there, and a nice big expensive red dot in my team next week to go alongside Fletcher Sharp and all the Roosters boys.
Yeah, well, that's right. Who would have thought the risky play would be trading in Campbell? You know,
Yeah.
the smarter play would just
Mhm.
to leave the guy that keeps hitting 70s out of your side, mate.
And I was saying as well, you know what? As I was weighing up, do I get Campbell or do I get Herbie? And it's like, oh, of course I'll get the guy who gets 7 rather than 70. Of course, that's the guy I'm going to target. Obviously, why would I do anything else?
Oh, it's good times, good times. What brought you joy this week, mate?
Uh, I mean, Mark, he's my boy.
That try
He's
at
my
the end was
boy.
cool.
That's it. Yeah, and he wasn't looking that good at half time as well.
Yeah, what was he on
He,
at half
he
time? 20?
like no, not even that. I think it was
Okay,
somewhere. It was like early teens, I think.
okay.
But yeah, like once they started giving him ball, and
Mm.
the Cowboys just capitulated again, as they want to do. Drinky, not 26. That's pretty good for him. That's you got to be happy with that. That's like
Maybe
double what we might have expected from
maybe 26 he gets the
him.
double thumbs. Oh, what a
Oh,
mess. What do we even do with this bloke
crazy.
now? Wasn't he like I think Mitch was like he was like near 700k 4 weeks ago, three
Yeah, I
weeks
think that
ago.
was when I think that's when I bought him. I think he was about 700K when I bought him. I bought him for his 14 or whatever it was. Whereas, yeah, coming off all those big scores, I obviously buy him at 700K for an 18.
And then the buy.
Just like if I brought anything to this channel, it's my immaculate timing and when to do things,
That's
and
right.
when to sell people just before they go crazy, when to bring people in just as they lose 150K in a month. Whatever he's going to get down to. He'll be like,
Momentum is wild, hey. Like
mm,
it happens in footy, but it happens in this too. Like you just see people have they seem to just have the hot hand one year and anything they touch turns to gold. There I was looking in where we are for the podcasters and I know um lost it. Go on. Come back to me. We had Jake up there who hasn't had. too high of in a season for a while, and then he had, I think he beat all of us by like 200 points in, I don't know, it was round seven, whatever one of the weeks where it was like
Mm.
1200 was near the top score. He got one of them,
Mm.
and he pushed from that like 4000 into like 800, and since then every single week he's gone
Yeah.
up basically. Like it just riding
Well,
that momentum, and he's into the top 100 now, which is impressive. So well done to him. And it's a thing like people, it's sad, but people were saying that at the start of the year. It was like, oh, whatever Nikki picks,
mm.
don't pick.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
same with me this year
It's
with like a lot of the picks that we kill. If you don't have that hot hand in the year, like it just doesn't work. I know last year I had the Fuller, the Plath. I remember Don. He ended up having a really good season. It
mm,
was like a 3 week period there. I'm just doing whatever you do, Jamie, because it was working,
mm,
and it seems to be a thing. Hey, it's crazy
yeah.
how it works. And you think you're making a good decision, and then yeah, the gods come in and destroy us, sadly, mate.
Yeah, like I mean, there's nothing you can do with head knocks and injuries and things like that. It's
Yeah.
just it's like for this year has been an absolute disaster for me, and it just feels like every time you do something, this happens.
Yeah.
Like constantly, just the timing is completely, it's a major thing in this. Like that's where you win or lose over other people. It's buying people at the right time or sell getting off people at the right time. Because everybody, it's the same general pool of players that we all move around between. And yeah, like if you sell somebody too early and then, like Saval, like I sold Savala like 3 weeks ago,
Mm.
think, like, oh, you might not even be in the team. And now he's banking out 70s every week. And
It looks better than ever, and
yeah,
yeah, Walker gets injured.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a mess.
yeah. So it's just, like in of each one, the decision isn't necessarily a bad move, but when they all pile up, you get and you're on the wrong side of the luck. It's a frustrating game, isn't it?
Yeah. Just like this one here, Mr. Payne Haas,
Oh yeah.
101. That was good viewing.
Like I don't understand.
Injured.
I don't understand. Yeah, exactly.
No
It's
problems.
and he's hobbling about, and they're like, oh, he's our most important player. He's clearly injured, backing up from playing Origin. We'll just strap him up, and he'll be grand. And he just decided, yeah, you know what?
This was the week.
I'll just go back to my the form in the first couple of weeks of the season where he's just smashing out offloads. Just yeah,
Yeah, well, he hasn't
100.
he hasn't been there at that six offload mark or near it for a long time. So yeah, he was at the zeros and ones and twos when we had him, right?
Mm.
Apart from 1 or 2 weeks there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, so much for being able to pick him up for cheap in a few weeks' time. That's kind of paid to that.
yeah, that's right. Now do we have to buy him back for the standalone round 17? Now we've got all these expensive guys that we have to sell. We probably could.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. What about Blake Bradley? He starting to play some good footy. He's going that little bit of run, and he's actually running the footy himself. I found that interesting the last few weeks. Done a really
Yeah, I'm
good job.
surprised just looking at it after watching the game. I'm surprised he only had 50 meters run. It
Yeah, because he
felt
looked like
like,
he was running more.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm a bit surprised it's that low, but yeah, he was the hooker that the hooker that we were looking for
Hmm.
after all, maybe.
Still not round 18, but yeah, definitely
Hmm.
was good for that 14 to this period here. But we know with someone like him, he is improving, but he goes on these little couple week runs. He gets suck people in near 700k, and then he goes back to 580 or
Hmm.
whatever he does. But yeah, Stags looks really good. Four line breaks for him was crazy. And big shout out to Mitch, back to back big weeks for his boy Britt Nickera. I can't wait for them to smash me tomorrow after I've given him so much crap about Nickera the last month. And what I say was Burbo versus Nickera, who's actually going to get more points, which was the most ridiculous thing ever. But at the time, I think Burbo was winning. Not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it just goes to show like these guys, when they get cheap, we still know who they are. I mean, you can think of them over a period of time. They're not playing well or things aren't breaking for them. But, he has these games in him and these 60s and 70s, and they're going to come at some point. You kind of hope that Nico's, making up if Nicola goes well, it's Hines feeding him,
Well, he was
feeding
actually.
him for this. Yeah.
I think both
Just
those
not
line break
getting,
assists were him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you only get 2 points for them. It's
Ugh,
the try
yeah.
assists and it's something you want to um
Ridiculous.
building up. But yeah, I mean, Nicola for 500k. Yeah, he at that point in time he wasn't going well, but This,
Mm.
kind of output was always likely to turn around at some point. So if you want to take that gamble and get on them like Mitch did, this can be those kind of cheap pods that
Mm.
can be your separation from other guys.
Yeah, well, a few of them it's worked out this week and last week as well with Reece Walsh, mate. He's come in and yeah, shown his skill and the
Mm.
Broncos. There was a massive comeback and he was a big part of it. Same as last week as well. Him and Payne Haas there. A 60 for him, under 500k, mate. With people needing a wing fullback, are we a little bit worried about him taking over from Ponga in Origin, and or can you take the punt?
Yeah, yeah, I was going to say that. I think if they lost, it would be more likely that he would get in for game three.
Mm,
They
that's
kind of
fair.
change it up a bit.
Yeah.
Coming off a win, I mean, Ponga hasn't really lit up Origin in the two games, but he hasn't really done anything wrong either. So you would think that they're more likely just to keep it as is. But yeah, it's a risk. I think I would wait if you're looking at him for round 18, you'd probably wait till the team's announced before you jump on rather than doing it now and then losing out.
Yeah, makes sense. We had a couple of normal scores. Adam Fanor Blake,
Yeah.
McInnes 53 and 50, which was good. We'll be holding on to them for a good while.
Well, I'm sure the McInnes minutes, I don't know if I'm going insane, but I thought he played much more than 56 minutes.
Yeah, it
So I
was
think he played like the
49
whole
tackles.
first, because I think he played like the whole first half and then maybe he had like 15, 20 minutes off. It felt like, I wasn't like watching and like I was doing something else at the time. So like I wasn't like totally concentrating on it, but I always kept checking to see if he was on the field. And it felt like he was on, oh, he's probably got 60, 65 minutes in this. And then,
Okay.
yeah, 56. It seems maybe he had a spell off that I missed or I just, was not paying attention. But yeah, I was surprised when I saw the minutes. It was like, oh, I thought you at least got, 60 plus, but
It seems to be
self
sometimes
it
he'll
is what
he'll
it
go
is.
off early enough in the second half and then has that like short stint at the end to finish him off. But Adam Fanor Blake 66 for him. That's 3 weeks in a row of
Mm.
really big minutes. So he's a very clear hold if he sticks anywhere near that. But Talakai, the cash out, or one of the cash outs of the week, 42 for him. So he'll still be in that range and be there for about a month. And the guy I was half interested in, and I think next week will probably make it very clear as to if he gets the spot and Cobbo's definitely out, is Karapani, mate. Just a tick under 300. He'll be above that. Is he
Mm.
if he's named next week, is he someone that people can jump on?
Yeah, like as long as you don't, I think you have to temper expectations. Like if you've already
Yeah,
got,
doubles
well, yeah, that's the thing. With
in a
40
row.
with two tries, he's not going to be reliable
His
in
name's Jesse
there.
Arthurs. Jesse Karapani.
Um, but if you don't have a like, if you didn't jump on Lawson or these guys, and you don't have, if you've got, yeah, you don't want to have too many of these cash out guys that you're not going to be relying on playing, or you don't want to rely on playing. So if you haven't got any, he's probably as good a shout as any. Although I'd probably give, if you're going pure cash out, I'd still probably prefer like a Fainu who'll be around the same price or still maybe a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, and he looked great, didn't you?
Over
What do you think of him?
Yeah. Yeah, like I think I was thinking going into the game, is he going to be better? Because that kind of middle role that he played, is that actually, is that 45 minute in the middle going to be better than him playing 80 minutes at six?
Hmm.
Just kind of wondering. But even when he went to six in that game, yeah, he looked dangerous. He looks like he has a kind of fantasy relevant type game,
Hmm.
which is kind of not totally what I expected because apparently his reserve stats are pretty low, like he only averages in the 20s or something, which
Hmm.
when you saw him play, it seemed a bit surprising, right? You
Yeah, hands on the
just,
ball all the
just,
time. Looks great. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think he'd still be my number one, like under 300k guy to target.
definitely. Just reading there, wasn't too long ago. They said physio said Sandon's going for scan, so it could be something more to it, which just yeah, not good for him. Sounds like yeah, Wong, MCL, and Sandon could be worse than that, which is not good.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, just
So
give
who?
Savala more time on the side, mate. How good for you? You loving that?
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Really glad I sold him. Who'd
Get
be
on it.
their other half then? Who's
Oh yeah, for next week, Chad. The Chad might
yeah.
be back.
Oh, Chad's back. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's probably good for Saval, although he might take a bit of kicking
Unless Walker
off
gets back for
Savala, but
18. Yeah. But it might be 1 week of Chad or
yeah,
something and then back to Walker. So
yeah.
yeah,
And we've got the
so
bye next week anyway, so
that's right. Mate, there's some pretty good scores in this one, and guys that are obviously clearly holds now is Nwangani Tawaze,
mm,
Savala definitely holding. Teddy, an awesome pick come round 18. We know he's one of the better wing fullbacks. We both jumped on the last few, which is good. Well, for me, mate, I've got four
mm,
Roosters. This is kind of the tough one of the week with all the injuries. Wong's part of that for me. So it was going to be him or White. And with White scoring
mm,
60, he can stick in the side and we'll be losing Wong and I'll be keeping those three.
mm,
So it's going to be interesting, yeah, what we do this week, mate. We've got most of us have sort of got that 2 to 4 on the Roosters train. So maybe one goes and then, not JC, Fletcher Sharp made it
mm.
lacerated kidney. That
Kidney or
sounds
something. Yeah.
gross. I asked my missus about it, and she's like, "You only hear of that stuff in like car crashes and whatever else that she's ever gone to. Just that high impact stuff. But that's
Mm.
footy, I suppose. It's crazy. So with him likely being a sell, we've got JC out next week with the HIA. There's some decisions to make for coaches. Hey, how would you prefer to play this one? Is it still just moving on these guys to round 18 players,
Mm.
or with losing a wing fullback half, are we looking just to straight cover that? Do we think for the most part?
Yeah, I think with Sharp, the Sharp's in actual injury rather than just the HIA kind of makes
Yeah.
that decision easier that, oh yeah, we just sell him.
Mhm.
I mean, the obvious move for me is like Sharp to Karaz. That seems probably
Yeah,
like a
it's gonna be
probably
fully
quite
owned
a
now.
popular, yeah, quite a popular move. If he was just out 1 week and then you had JC out 1 week plus Elise, it kind of makes decisions would be a bit harder of I think who to move on. But yeah, if he's out 4 to 6, that's easy. We can get rid of him. Um, so I've got two Roosters, Mark and Teddy. My problem is they're all in wing fullback. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
you gotta have to cover it,
and
right?
and Sharp and Campbell, yeah, just so all
Mm.
the injuries are in the same injuries and outs are in the same position, which doesn't help. But I think I just need to make one trade. I think if I did Sharp to Karaz, I think that covers me. But then I'm
Bevan.
playing, yeah, like I'm playing Turbo and stuff
Garrick.
straight
Yeah,
up. Yeah, Turbo and Garrick will come in. So
with the
hopefully
great
Turbo can go well
with
in
the
the
great drinky.
centers. Yes, there's a back three, Turbo,
Oh,
Drinky, and like a Garrick. There you go.
could be a
What could
trio of
possibly go
70s
wrong?
or a trio of 13s. Oh
Yeah,
no, Garrick will pull through. He'll drop a 40 odd for the boys.
hopefully.
But yeah, it's a bit gross otherwise. Yeah, yeah, Cowboys wise, Purdue, mate, what do we think on that situation? Is it still just sticking as a hold, even though he's 21 for him? He probably starts losing money
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Like if you need him as a number in 18, it's probably hard to sell. I think
Yeah.
we've been through this before, like there's just not a lot of center options. Uh
And Titans
so
next week will be okay.
mm,
Storming around 18 without
yeah,
the Origin guys. So yeah, it probably feels like a hold to me
yeah,
as well, hey. Especially all
yeah.
those wing fullbacks going down and stuff. Like he might just help you
Mm.
get through the next few and it's just
Yeah,
aside from there, hey.
selling 19 onwards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it. Drinky, I'll try and avoid probably for one more week and decide in round 18 if I want to buy. And if you do own, you just have to hold because he's still.
Yeah.
It's going to happen eventually. But yeah, this Cows team, they're in free fall. But we know it can only take 1 week to turn it around, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's do you have faith in if, Cotter and Robson and these guys that are out, if they come back to that? Because he's not the type of wing fullback that'll do it on his own. He needs them to be attacking and
Yeah,
scoring
just
tries and
rolling.
him being involved. So yeah, if they're getting turned over like they have the last couple of weeks, it's not likely to get much better. But if we think they can improve when they have their big guns back, then hopefully he improves with it. But yeah, round 18, where when we need him, is going to be one of those weeks they don't have them. So
Yeah, of course.
how
Of course.
reliable how reliable can he be?
How good's JJ the GOAT coming back from last year? 67. We got Junior Barlow, we got Hawkins, we got
Yeah,
Tuolungi.
Kelma.
What a top four. Wow.
Yep, that's it. Kelma's a buy again.
Oh, probably. Katonga had a good one too. He had 190 meters for the line break there for his 58, and Randall, the buyers of him, he's just gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
him and Nikora pretty much back to back same scores. I think 73, 60, something like that. Back to back tries for Randall, so he was an awesome buy. After getting 28 in that first game, he's people probably sold him straight up. You watch, but
And
both of them all made
yeah.
58, just going about his business. Very
Kicking goals.
kicking
What's that
goals.
about? What's that about?
Yeah,
That's insane. I don't know.
that
Just
just that just rubbed the
it was
salt in the wound, didn't it?
it felt like one of those, and I'm sure this wasn't the case, but it felt like one of those where, like, like once JC went down and they hadn't actually decided who was going to take the goal kicking,
Yeah,
and both, you know what, sorry, I'll do it myself here. Give me the ball, I'll do
the old whoever
Crazy.
says yes first.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, just give me here, I'll do it.
Yeah, yeah. Corey Parker, hey, imagine that if we had both Fermor kicking goals long term.
Yeah.
Craig Fitzgibbon, all the boys. All right.
Yeah.
Yongi, this one. This is a beautiful one. He'd already surpassed. I just decided to keep Sharp as my scoring player as I looped him, and then I think Yongi passed him before half time, so that was good. Thank
Perfect.
goodness
Yep.
he hung about at a 50, but he took over in this game. So congrats to him for stepping up, and for them to get that win with Lomax only being involved in one try, I think was very impressive. And Hawkins he's been playing pretty well, hey, when he's got his opportunity last month anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at
It's
him
just
go.
hard when you've got those, Mitch Moses in front of you. It's
Oh yeah.
hard to get much of an opportunity, but yeah, no, he's done well.
And Titans just dead last now, I think, unfortunately. And what's to go? Bloody Joey Lussick returned for a 47 ball.
It's yeah, like because
Riley's been
I mean,
killing it. Why?
yeah, and I know I sold like I wasn't playing him anyway this week. I don't really know why I'd sold Riley, but then yeah, coming into this, one of the reasons I wasn't going to was Papali was in the starting team. Oh, he's like locked on for 80 minutes this week, and then bang, 35. Although he went off injured, I think, at the end, didn't he? So, maybe we would have got 40, 45 minutes. He
Yeah,
also dumped somebody on their head, so I don't know if that could be a suspension coming. It looked a bit nasty, but
yeah,
I
he's
didn't think it was worth anything.
still managed a decent score, thank goodness. But
Oh yeah, his PPM's been cracking all year.
yeah, all right, mate. We move past round 16 now, so we've got a few of these legends returning into our potential sides, and we've got the doggy. So Preston and Karaz are the big guys on the list. You bought Eli Katoa. If you haven't gone down that way, and we do have a few guys like Hosking, like Aiken that are floundering a little bit. Aiken, did pretty well at center to be fair, but guys like Hosking, do you think it's worth making an upgrade from a Hosking to a Preston? If is that worth it long term? Do you think?
Uh, Probably, yeah. Like I'm a massive Hosking fan.
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
bit
don't
tough, hey.
understand where the scoring's gone,
He played the
especially
full
because
80 too.
yeah, yeah. And that's part of I think going to be because he'll probably go back to maybe like that 65 minutes maybe from now on. Um, Hudson, yeah, because like they gave Hudson Young that little break for
Yeah, fair
Sasangi
enough.
this week. Normally that'd go to Hosking.
Hmm.
And yeah, he's just not scoring well. Like he's missing tackles. He's not really involved in the attack. So I'm kind of locked into keeping him now.
Yeah.
Just the way it's kind of played out, and using three trades this week for basically for negative value. I'm kind of stuck with him, but yeah, I don't mind the sell to be honest. Unfortunately, because and if it was me and I sold him, he'd come out with an 80. So if I'm keeping him, that means other people should sell him because he's going to continue. So he's going to continue to suck.
Oh,
That's
goodness.
probably the thing. But yeah, the problem this week is with all of our with Sharp and JC, we're probably going to have to target, wing fullbacks, etc. So yeah,
Mm,
I think Karaz is probably the main one rather than selling, trading out green dots. It's a bit of a luxury. But if you don't have, Sharp or Campbell, then yeah, he's a guy you can upgrade.
definitely. What do you think of Jack Howarth? I've had pegged him as a potential option for my side. Did look a lot better, even with the take away the turnovers.
Yeah, well, I had him for about a month at the start of the year,
That's right.
and he was awful.
Yeah.
A painful watch. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, one of the main bad. I mean, obviously, it wasn't that bad a trade because he's still pretty cheap, but people were having the likes of Purdue and Toa in their centers, and
Right.
I'm rocking
Yeah.
Jack Howard for a 22 and a
And more
18, and
expensive.
yeah. Um. So yeah, look, I mean, the reasons I got him in the first place are still valid reasons.
Mm.
So like I can't say you shouldn't get him, but I also can't, actually recommend it given how painful he was to watch at the start of the year. So again, he'll be another one that I had and was terrible, and then everyone else will bring him in, and I'll stay away, and he'll be 600k in no time and be, banging out banging out 50s and 60s galore. So yeah, everybody
Timing,
go
as you
nuts.
said, hey? Timing.
Timing is everything. Timing is everything. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of loaded up on the storm with Hughes and Katoa, so hopefully, hopefully they can justify it.
What do you think of that young man, Jerome Hughes? Would you still would you still buy him this week, a week later?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah. I
think?
mean, I
What
don't.
do you think watching him?
Uh, like I mean, wait. It was when he went over for that try early.
Here we
You had
go.
that thing. Yeah, it's like here we go. This is it. Made some good trades here. We're gonna have a good week, and then yeah, it was kind of Hines-esque from then on without a whole lot going on. But he's still cheap.
Yeah, that's the
He's
good thing.
still yeah, like that's the thing. Like you can't really you're taking a bit of a gamble to say that okay, like if he goes back to anything approaching last year, then he's massively underpriced and he's going to be a like keeper through the rest of the year. They haven't really seen that'll happen, but he doesn't need to get to that level to still be decent value. He's priced in the early 40s or something.
Yeah.
What other halves are there for 18 other than um
Savala.
Boggs? Well, yeah, Fogg, Savala, and then you're into playing Bainu and King
Yeah,
Tonga and,
looping
and
King
that.
Tonga
So
and yeah.
yeah, so I mean, if you don't have Savala, if you've sold Savala, if you don't have Fogarty, like who else are you targeting? So yeah, like I think he's probably one of these unless his price gets out of hand, which I can't see happening in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then North Queensland
Yeah, that's the
in
one.
18. Yeah,
Yeah. That's it, because it's something I've still got
yeah,
to look at because I'm Savala and King Tonga right
mm,
now. So
yeah,
just working that one out. He's the clear guy, definitely, and will be just a tick under 600. So yeah, the run not crazy. Like it feels like at the moment that they have to smash teams for him to go really well, whereas last year he just was running so much more.
yeah.
It just feels a little bit past first compared to
Yeah, it
last
was the
year, but
same with
confidence, eh?
Munster most of the year as well. And I think it's just they've got so many weapons. So that was the thing with
Yeah.
Munster. Like he wasn't playing badly, but he just didn't need to do all that much. And the same
No.
and same with Grant. It's just yeah, they've got so many weapons across the board that yeah, there'll be games where, like a couple of like the Storm Cowboys game where Hughes will stand up. Well, not stand up, but Hughes will just be involved and he'll get a 70 plus. And there'll be games where Munster will do it, and there'll be games where Pappenhausen does it, and there'll be games when Grant does it, post Origin. So yeah, they just don't need to rely on one person for everything to run through. And it's not a problem for the Storm, but it's a problem for us fantasy guys where, we're trying to pick who's the one guy that everything's going to run through. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going to work that way for them this year.
It happens that way with a few different teams. Hey, like just thinking back to Taylor May with the Panthers, they just had so many weapons, and before it even got out to those guys, they weren't even using him at one point, and it happens with other teams as well. So yeah, doggies, Cowboys were avoiding. Warriors, we can. Yeah, it's still Aaron Clark season, so jump on every single week. We'll keep telling you that one. Knights, they've got two buys in the next six, and your boy Bradman.
Bradman, he's back. He's back.
Oh, bro.
I was happy. I'm happy to see him back. I'm happy to see him fit,
Yeah,
playing
him and
well.
Dom Young. That was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, could be a target towards the end of the year, maybe after that other bye. And yeah, they've got a tough run, but yeah,
Yeah, look at the
could be an
red.
option at
Jesus.
some point.
Yeah. There you go. All right, so we got the Eels. They got the one more game before the bye. Still, yeah, you're not purchasing anyone. Eagles guys, Turbo, still a potential, cheap guy if you didn't want to go for like a Walsh. I think now we've got through 16. He's an option. Yeah, if there's
Yeah,
him and
I'll
there's like Jack Howarth in that center or wing fullback. Like, who would you want more? I suppose you'd pretty
yeah.
easy to say Turbo, but round
So there's yeah,
19
so
factor
there's
two.
yeah. I don't know if it's confirmed, but there is war. There's been said that he'll be moving to center.
Yeah. Well, hey,
So
now they're the
and
same. Center
it's
versus center.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's better or worse, but I mean, he might. He'll be get some tackles perhaps, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced playing him, but again, he's 400k, so like you're not buying him to be a gun. You're buying
Mm,
him to try and upgrade elsewhere and to rely on for maybe a couple of weeks and loop around it. But yeah, if he does move to center, I'd probably if he plays center this week, then yeah, maybe wait, see how he goes, and then look to bring him in 18 if you need that wing fullback for 18.
definitely, mate. Hey, I've got some good news for you.
Hmm?
I don't know
Go.
why he didn't get the time, but Drinky's up to 31. He got his try assist.
Yeah, there we go.
31 double th we
Everything,
need we need triple thumbs up. We need shackers.
everything, everything is good with the world.
That
Jinkies
means
in
I
the
go down.
30s.
That means I lose ranks. Oh, but Nikki goes up. That's good. That's good.
Every point matters.
Oh, it does. Boy, it does.
So does that mean I beat you by 4 points then?
Oh, you smacked me then, yeah. Damn. Oh, so he didn't get a line break assist, but maybe he did, but then he lost two somewhere. Oh,
Mm.
oh well. Tigers, mate, not really of relevance. No one really stood out this week as a guy to buy.
Mm.
In terms of the dogs, the Burton, Galvin, Sexton situation will be interesting. I feel like you're waiting till round 18 to decide. Like if Burton gets that, his 18th man or something like that, he could still be an option for that week if it all pans out. I'm seeing a few people still holding on, so good luck to those guys. Colin Matangi, the war veteran, incredible effort for him.
Yeah, that's it. You go from being
Duncan,
out for weeks to yeah, I'll just play 80 minutes in the middle again. Well,
yeah,
and
he's
yeah,
incredible.
Duncan, that was the
Did a
other
job.
option. Yeah. Yeah, Duncan was the other option for Katoa, like the cheaper option instead of
Mm.
Katoa. And outscored him obviously, because I made the choice. It's yeah, he's still doing well. Probably
Yeah,
still buyable at that price.
yeah.
Although
If he's
it's
gonna
probably starting to get up there, but yeah, if he's still gonna play like this, then yeah, you could still get him.
Yeah, well, the impressive part I found was the 42 tackles, no misses, and then the game before was tackles plus the attack. So, yeah, he
Mm.
could be a high 40s guy, which is we've been waiting for it for a couple of years now. So, good on him for that. Broncos, yeah, we mentioned Walsh as a potential option. A little bit of a worry there. I think we saw Piakura go up and drop a good score again, of course. And then I suppose the one I wanted to mention there, Dolphins, mate, was Kurt Donahue. He's played another great game. Like any thoughts into climbing into that one with the buy in 18 or a bit late?
Yeah, yeah, it's a bit. I think it's a bit like it's hard to buy. I mean, I say that after getting Campbell. Hard to buy people with that 18. It's all. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say it. It's all very kind of team dependent. Where I think at this stage you have to. The only reason I got Campbell was because I had on like my round 18, 19 were sorted with the Hughes and Katoa trades. So it's like a bit of luxury, but I could kind of afford it because um everything else is settled. But if you're still a couple of players short for 18 and you're running out on trades, it's
Yeah, that's the
feels
thing.
kind of hard to be targeting kind of mid-rangers for a week and then they don't play and then you're
Mm.
just going to have to and because they and you know he's likely to be the type of guy that you're looking to sell in a few weeks anyway when it's like okay how do we get to
Paying
pass
us.
back and whatever yeah it's like they're those are the guys that you're probably going to be trying to move on so I mean it feels very luxury at this point but
Yeah,
it's not
at
to
a
say that
decent
there'll be
price.
certain people with yeah there's for certain people it couldn't make sense.
Mm. And then yeah, the two buys coming up. Yeah, all these teams from Bunnies down, except Broncos, sorry, have the two to go. So just got to be aware of that. Someone like Fogarty, if he has a few of these low ones and then goes on a bit of a run again like he did early in the year, he could be a potential target at a decent price if you want to go down that way. But yeah, missing the next week. So now that we get into 17, I think it is seems to be a bit of survival for this week. Get through, try and get you 17 for that week, for this week coming. And then do have that little eye on 19 because you'd be pretty close to 18 full numbers now. And then just be aware of those guys and, do you have the potential backup players and all that type of stuff, I think, heading into this week. But I feel like it's going to be, following this one, it'll be, how many trades do you have? Do you have, five or six and you're sitting okay after round 17, or are you sitting at like two or three and you're just hoping and praying for no injuries? So do you start thinking about, oh, this guy's had a few injuries or he's coming back from this kind of stuff, and if you're at two or three trades left, you make decisions around that. What do you reckon? Or you just play for
I mean,
luck?
yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Like, I'll bring in Jaden Campbell and he gets a head knock. Like, it doesn't matter. You can try your best to be, oh, these. I'll avoid this guy because he's had his the injury history, and then he kills it, and the guy that's never been injured gets a blow in the head, and that's it. He's done for. I think the 1 week after an injury, like that the hammy injuries and stuff where they come back, yeah, I like giving them a week or so just to make sure. But if somebody's been fit for weeks, like you think back to the start of the year, one of the reasons why a lot of people weren't starting with Payne Haas was because he always has these injury problems and well, maybe he's maybe a bit of a risk. We'll go with Isaiah Yeo instead. He's more reliable. He won't give you a 30 in week two. That's he's the safe option to go to. And yeah, Haas just gets injured and scores hundreds. So
Apparently. So,
maybe that's the secret. Maybe people need to get injured
yeah.
and then play through it and yeah, bang out massive scores. Maybe that's the key.
Yeah, I think we leave it there. You just Payne Haas is the guy. Every single week we talk about him, and you just have him in your team. And when you have him in your team, he backs up from first origin and he gets 45, and that's great. When you sell him, he gets 101. We leave it there. We love you all.
Yeah, see you
Thanks. Have
later.
a great night. Go drinky. 31.